Okay. I'm going to show everyone a few pictures right now. I have my green screen up, I know. Okay. I'm going to show you a few pictures. Okay. It's with regards to parking. Okay. Because I know that, people say certain things, but, if it had happened to you, you would have been really fucking irritated. Okay. And, some of you may even get my point that I'm trying to make, but thick people won't get it. What's your point? If you don't see my point, then you, seriously? Okay. I know how parking is, right? So here, let's start with the first picture. Okay. So if you look, we have a car parked directly in the middle of the parking space. Okay? As you can see there. Pretty even on both sides. Okay, so, she'd still be able to get out even if somebody was over some, parked properly. This one here, as you can see, it is way over to the other side, pretty much right on the yellow line. If you got out and looked, you would actually see there was about 4 inches. About 2 to 3 inches. Not enough for a person to get out of their car. Correct? Okay. And look at all the space on the other side of her. So she's not parked directly in the middle of the parking space. She's way over to the other side, which, let's go to the next one, doesn't give this person that's parked in the space between her just over the line, doesn't give her enough space on her side to get out of her vehicle. If she was in the middle of her parking space, no one would have space. So look at that now. Okay? So now I want you to go back, because who is the one in the wrong? The one she may be. This one may be. Oh, here, let's make me smaller. That one down there, the black one. Okay? That one right there. Okay? She may have been in her parking space, but she was way over, because, how many of you have been in a parking space where, people have parked like that and you can't even get in your fucking car? Now, I want you to keep in mind the one in the white car next to that had to move over. I met her, and she's a heavier set woman. So she wouldn't have been able to get out of her vehicle or in her vehicle. But when I brought this to the attention of someone, all they did was scream at me. Well, that person's in their parking spot. Yes, they are. Oh, they are in their parking spot. The one in the black vehicle, they are in their parking spot, but just barely, right? So if that was your parking spot next to them, would you do the same thing as that other woman? Because you would almost have to, because you wouldn't be able to get out of your vehicle or in it, because the door wouldn't be able to open up far enough for you to do so. So please enlighten me, okay? Because I know I'm not the one that's not getting it. Whether this person is in their parking spot or not, you're not getting my point. This other one in the white car had to move over. Yes, she was in your space. Maybe she didn't have to go so far, and then you would have had to move over further. And then the woman next to you still would have been bitching because you were too close to her car, because she too was disabled. Because let's see, you're in a senior citizen complex, right? So the only ones that are parked properly. So now let's see. These ones here, this one right here, and the truck beside them, they're parked properly. Okay? So if you had have been going and getting your driver's test and you parked like that person there in the black vehicle, well, you're parking, you would have failed your parking. Because you were too far over. You're to be more in the middle, because I know many of you get irritated if you come out and the person is right on the yellow line. Couldn't get out, right? Couldn't get out or in because parking spots are barely big enough for you to open your fucking door when you're in the middle. So, with all due respect, but if you're not getting my point and you want to argue about it, see, because there's someone, and they do the same thing of what this person did to me today. And I know exactly where this other person gets it from. It gets it from you, the person I'm talking about. That's who they get it from. So next time you want to say about how that person is, maybe you should look in the mirror as a reflection of what I'm showing you right here, because you did the same thing that you say this other person does to you. But you came out basically hollering, because I rolled my window down. I drove 4 kilometers back to make my point. But you were already hollering at me instead of saying, okay, yeah, I actually see your point. But you couldn't even see the point because you were too busy hollering at me. Seriously. You didn't get my point. Yeah, I see that. Oh, they're in their parking spot. But see, if you were in your parking spot and in the middle of your parking spot and this person parked that close to you and you couldn't get your door open, what would you do? Because with regards to the car that, had to move over some, I remember what you said in the house. But you were totally different when you were out there. So next time you want to say about how that other person is, I know exactly where they got it from. And don't you dare try saying it was from me. Because it was not from me. People say, well, you're very argumentative. Really? Am I argumentative? Or am I trying to make a point and you just don't seem to be getting it? Because this is a very valid point right here. So this one, the next one to that, you three are in, would be like these two here for sure are in the wrong. But you had to move over to the next car, exactly the same as that black car. And then you wonder why the other person in the car next to you is bitching because they can't really get in their vehicle properly. So how is the way you're parked any different than the way this person's parked, but you say the person next to you is bitching because they can't get in the car because of the way you're parked? Do you get my point yet? Or are you going to still scream and holler at me? Just saying.